I realize you're not a doctor, but how is Alex doing?
Yeah, he's good. He's in good spirits. Uh, I think it's something that's going to pass by pretty fast. He was already talking about potentially going on the trip, even just to be there with the team, which says a lot about where he's at, and I'm excited for him to get through protocol.
Is your experience with concussions, does that impact the way you look at this or anything, or how does are you sitting there going maybe take it easy?
Yeah, in a way. My case was very different.
Yeah.
You know, uh, I wasn't quite aware that I had a concussion until really the next morning. So,
Right.
For him to be able to kind of come out the game and not be at any more risk makes me feel a whole lot better about how I perceive his concussion and concussions in general. And so they did the smart thing of pulling him out. But it is an interesting thing because if you come back too early, you're at risk for longer term health issues.
Other than you look like you're moving over to the right, or you moved over to the right in that game. How did you or you moved to the right back? How did you like that, and what do you think that does for you? It seems like you had one of your better games on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw the entire field, from a different position, perspective. They didn't press quite as hard as they probably would have hoped as well. In the second half, I felt like they were kind of standing off of us, and so it made my job a little bit easier in terms of being on the ball and getting into smarter positions. But yeah, once we're 2-0, trying to be a leader in that role, understanding that we haven't closed out games in a great way. So just trying to be in positions to help the team.
How do you assess that? The fact that you closed out the game, something that you haven't been able to do, but maybe also realizing that maybe that's not Minnesota's forte and they don't really have maybe the ability to get back into a game like that one?
Yeah, I think it was tough from their perspective. They couldn't get enough pressure on us. So understanding that, we closed out the game, but how much of it was us versus how much of it was them not really pushing for the second goal. And so, it's going to be tough on the road to close out a game like that. And so understanding that, can we keep the ball like that when teams aren't pressing us and be sharp in those moments and not let them have the ball. But at times they're going to be pressing us, and so how can we turn it into a second ball type of game and play in their half as much as possible?
What does a game like that do for the confidence of the team as a whole to score early, to keep up the pressure, to not really give up a ton going the other way, and to just sort of play pleasing soccer?
Yeah, I think it was really good for our team, both confidence-wise and then also just having fun. Back to having fun, right? Back to the basics. I think that's really important. That's something that we haven't really done all year, is enjoy the ball, enjoy being up, instead of surviving or trying to get back into a game. So really, really pleased for our group, but this is a tough league, and one game is far different than the other, and so we have to understand that, Minnesota didn't quite push as hard as they probably would have liked in the second half, and it's going to be a whole lot tougher in Houston.
What did you see from Paul Rothrock after he came in and took over that position and went the rest of the way?
Yeah, number one, energy, right? That's a guy that brings a lot of energy both to training field, the practices, and then also games, right? He's a bit of a spark off the bench, and so sometimes you don't have to be the best player on the field, but if you bring the energy, it really magnifies and it helps the team move forward with the way we press and the way we play.
To that point, we saw Brian's locker room talk after the game and talking about how Paul's an example of training hard and training. Does it, for you as one of the veteran, normal starters team, does it kind of light your fire and light your guys' fire a little more watching him do that and then get time?
Yeah, absolutely, right? You want to reward guys, and we felt like we haven't been able to see guys get rewarded just because of the results that we've been getting. It also makes people feel part of the team, right? Like, it's not the same guys going out there each and every game, right? So if you train well, and it's also an example to the other kids, right? If you train well, you take your opportunity, you might get more chances. So it also puts guys on the hot seat, if you don't continue to play well, right? It's a healthy competition, and that's what we want within our group.
What are your thoughts on this Ben Olsen team this season? Quality midfield. What are the challenges that they might present?
Well, I think they haven't had their number 9 that they probably would have liked throughout the whole year. So it kind of creates a little bit of, it just creates, it makes it a little bit more complex. They're putting guys that don't really play as a striker, but they're very good on the ball. So it's a team that's going to be tough to play against, especially away. With the weather, the way it's looking. So we got to make sure that we keep the ball and we don't, give bad giveaways and create a transition type of game.
You talk about having fun. Any more future choreographed celebrations that we might see?
Well, we'll probably be playing cards on the road. It builds a lot of team camaraderie. We're getting guys out of their shells, and then we'll see we got to score goals first, right? That's more important than the celebration. But it showed a lot of team camaraderie. Was really happy and pleased that Steph was able to get in there as well, because goalies don't get to celebrate as often as they should.
Thoughts on the merger with the Reign?
Yeah, excited. For women's sports, obviously, for our organization to be able to kind of merge together, I think it's fitting. To say the least, with the World Cup coming along, just soccer in general, trending in the right direction, and I think the women's game as well. We want it to grow, and if we can just add a little bit more growth to the game, to the women's side, I think our team will be extremely pleased with that.